Hey everyone, it's BrowncoatNerd, and what we have for you today is the Hungarian version of the AK-47. This one here is the AMD 65. You're seeing these go up for sale a whole bunch. Classic has been carrying them for quite a while. They have the AMD 65, which is the folding stock, and the AMD 63, which is the fixed stock, which I believe technically is actually an AKM 63, but whatever. The AMD 65 was originally a SBR importation. We've got a 16-inch barrel on here. You'll see a couple different builds for these. When they first started popping up, what they would do, because the original barrel, imagine your sight and muzzle brake right here. It was pushed right up against the gas block. So originally what they were doing, the sight was back here. They were keeping the original barrels, which was nice because they were chrome lined. And then they would just weld like a little extension tube with no rifling or anything in it. It was just a tube. And then weld the muzzle brake to the end of that, making it part of the barrel, making it a full 16 inches. One of the kind of the nice things about this is you're getting a true 16-inch barrel. Of course, it's not the highest quality. It's not chrome lined like the original ones. It's 4140. But, I'm not planning on going into a battlefield with this. I just take it out to the field, have fun, take it out shooting range, have fun. This gun is more than suitable for those. So, while I would prefer chrome lined and 4150, that also means you're going to be paying more. And one of the great things about this gun is the price point. I mean, it's kind of competing with the IOs and the Century Red Army standards, both of which are a little more expensive than this. And those are like all American made. A lot of the parts are cast. Where on here you've got your typical, Kami block forged heavy duty stuff. So this is a good challenger for that, especially with the price point coming in a little bit below that. What we got here is a monstrous muzzle brake. Now, on this one, this is the CII build. They are based out of Kentucky. Like I said, there's several different builds, but they have the full 16-inch barrels. What's nice about that, you can change this brake out. And it's big. I take this off whenever I clean it, and I take it off, and it's just kind of like, I feel like I lopped like 5 inches off the gun. So a lot of people do like to change these out. They'll put the traditional slant on there or something a little more modern. When I bought this gun, I was just kind of looking for a cheap AK. I planned on throwing wood furniture on here. There are ways of doing that. But then as I decided to order the folding stock version instead, I just kind of realized I've got to leave this as is. It's just too unique. When I first saw it, I said to myself, that is the ugliest AK-47 I have ever seen. And it's kind of weird. It's like an ugly puppy. You just keep looking into its sad little eyes and realize how much you love it just the way it is. Or maybe that's just me. Anyways, we got your standard AK-47 front sights, adjustable for windage and elevation, just like any AK-47, uses the same sight tool. Your 4140 non-chrome lined barrel. The gas block down here, you'll notice there is no bayonet lug. On the AMD 65s, with it being an SBR, I don't think there ever was a bayonet lug. So in that aspect, it's keeping true. You got your all-metal handguard here. Like I said, originally I was planning on changing this out to wood, which you can do. Just a little bit of minor Dremel work. Boom, you're good to go. Decided to keep with this. And I saw in a bunch of videos people saying, watch out, that thing gets really hot after only a few mags. And sure enough, I burnt the crap out of myself on this the very first time taking it out to shoot. I grabbed it down here, but I was too far up. And it let me know real quick that it's too hot to touch. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're letting someone shoot the gun that hasn't shot it before. Definitely let them know, and just don't let their grip kind of creep up. If you're wearing gloves or something, it probably wouldn't be an issue at all whatsoever. The gas tube up here is unique to the AMD. It's shorter. So once again, if you want to do the wood furniture route, you're going to need to buy your standard AK-47 gas tube, cut it down, flare it out a little bit, and then you'd be good to go. Which, once again, the naked gas tube, with just like everything on this gun is ugly as hell on its own. That muzzle brake, you're ugly on your own. Those grips, god-awful ugly. The handguard, okay, well, that's kind of cool. The naked gas tube, ugly on its own. The wire folding stock is ugly, but you just throw them all together, and I just think it makes for one hell of a cool looking gun. The fun factor on this gun is very, very high. But we do have a couple companies that make gas tubes specifically for the AMD series that have rails on them. So if you want to do the optiques and all that stuff, you got a couple options there still for you. The little takedown gas tube switch here on my Vepr, I almost have to use pliers on it every time, it's so stiff. When this guy showed up, it was literally just woo, free spinning. So I did have to hammer that down a little bit. Super minor fix, no issues there. The one thing that's kind of a bummer, and I don't know if you guys are even going to really be able to tell. Oh, yeah, I think you can. That rear sight is kind of cambered off to one side. This gun grips pretty accurately. I mean, it's shot a little to the right. I still need to get an AK tool to adjust it. But the grouping was all there with a little bit of Kentucky windage. I was nailing the bullseye. So I have seen another video with the CII build. They had the same issue. Saw another video that was not the CII build. It was the older one with the original barrel. And the exact same issue, even canted the same way. So I don't know if that's just some kind of issue with these Hungarian FEG AKs or what the deal with that is. It sucks, but it's something I can live with. And I kind of wonder too if it's actually the block or just that leaf there. I have a feeling with a little bit of tinkering, I might even be able to fix that. But I can live with it. Once again, for the price, I mean, that's really my only complaint on this gun. So I'm happy with that. Then the Magwell does look like it was imported as a single stack and then cut out. This is my only AK that's cut out. So I will let you guys look at that and see what you think. It does look like it might be ever so slightly crooked. But I've got several mags here, and they all work just fine in there. I have had zero issues other than a problem with the trigger spring. I'll get to that in a second. And we do have the Made in Hungary FEG, focus please. Made in Hungary 762x39, then you got your FEG logo there. And as you saw, the receiver does have the dimples. Some people freak out about that. I really don't think it's a big issue. This mag here is the one of the brand new Korean ones you can get from Classic. I can't remember how much. It's fairly cheap. It's a 20 rounder. It's what these traditionally were kind of meant to use. I had to do very minor Dremel work. I got it to go in just fine. This is the Tapco El Cheapo that it comes with. Out of all my mags, this one has the most wobble. Once again, it feeds just fine, no issues. And a lot of people make a fuss about this getting in the way for your 30 round mag changes. And it's really not an issue. I mean, once again, I don't plan on taking this gun into battle with me where I'm under frantic mag changes. If you're looking for a gun like that, maybe this isn't the gun for you. I think most people are looking for a gun to just have fun with at the range. And mag changes with 30 rounders are going to be no issue. This does fit drum mags. However, the stock cannot be folded when you got the drum mag in there. It'll hit the drum. So you have to have that folded out. A company out there called AMD Tech, they actually make a whole different stock for this, where you can run it with a drum mag on there. So you have that option. I'm fine just unfolding the stock when I run the drum mag. That's just me. Your safety here, it's got a little safety catch so you don't over travel. Once again, not a big issue, but at the same time, I mean, if I have to choose, well, yeah, put one on there. Shoot. Normally, I would have changed the safety out for the little notch so I can lock it back. Right now, the finish doesn't look like it matches. I just wiped it down with one of those Birchwood KC wipes. But it's got a very matte phosphate gray finish, which once again, the combination of just the way the gun's set up, I think it just looks cool. Like, you know, nerd side showing, but I feel like I could totally see a stormtrooper cruising around with this bad boy, hunting down Han and Luke. So I'm probably going to keep the safety just so that flat gray finish all matches. And man, it really does not look like it matches on the camera. I'm telling you it does. This is a little darker. This is much darker, but the rest of the gun is normally flat gray and it all matches. Some complaints I've seen people talking about how the folding stock is super stiff when they get it. I think those are on the earlier builds. No issues with this whatsoever. It's not too tight. It's not too loose. It is just perfect. You got your G2 trigger, which is light as hell. I really wish I had the little trigger pull measure poundage doohickey. This is probably the lightest trigger hell out of all of my guns, which definitely adds to the fun factor. One thing I hate about this gun, accuracy for me with the stock folded, I'm better with this freaking stock folded than shouldering it, and I feel like a total dingbat at the range shooting a gun with a folded stock. But one, it's really freaking fun with this gun. Two, I don't know if it's just because that's how improperly trained I am on shooting. But also I'm able to get my face up pretty close to it because there's really no kick to this. I really wish they would just make one without a stock at all and make as a pistol version of the AMD. I think that would be really, really fun. So with that being said, the gun's fairly accurate. I'm a hobbyist marksman at best. I'm not going to try to say I'm an awesome shot. And once again, going back to the folded stock, I've had 2 other people shoot this gun that are maybe just a little bit further behind than I am on shooting. And they both had the same issue. They were both more accurate with the stock folded than with it out. Some people really don't like this because, as you can see, there's no cheek rest. It's not that bad. It doesn't bug me that much. Once again, AMD tech, they sell a little metal bar that comes up here and you can wrap it with paracord or whatever. But it gives you a cheek weld. And so a lot of people like to use that. I'm going to keep this as is. The rear sling attachment, which would normally be right here, is a missing. Which kind of bugged me because when I ordered this, a little suggestion thing popped up from Classic Firearms saying, hey, buy the sling. So I did. Got the front sling attachment. Don't have the rear. Once again, AMD tech, they sell a little doohickey that attaches like right here for you to mount the sling on. Thought about getting that, but I didn't know if it'd really kind of like bite into the finish of this, and if I decided I didn't want to take it off, and then it's all chewed up. I mean, this is just a range gun, so I figured I'd just, at least for now, leave the sling off. They do sell little base plates for like the AK pistols that has a little bit sticking out, and I've seen a company that advertises them made for the AMD because your stock release button is right here, and supposedly they make them with that little notched out. I can never find any place that has them in stock. Of course, you could just always buy the regular one in Dremel. So you've got that option. The mags, like I said, I've got the Tapco that it came with, works just fine, no issues. I got the brand new Korean made 20 rounder, works just fine, no issues. I got the clear Tapco, no issues. My favorite, the Yugoslavian bolt hold open. I love these mags, no issues. And then last but not least, the old Russian Bakelite. I know it's fiberglass mag, no issue. I love the color contrast with this mag. Pretty neat. The gun does come with a basic cardboard box. Nothing special there. You also get this little instruction manual. It's kind of cool. You get a little history lesson. You get an AK rifle overview. Let's read a little bit. Designed by Mikhail Klishnikov. I know I'm butchering that. Make fun of me. While recuperating from injuries sustained in a battle during World War I. The reliable... Wait, what? Yep. Someone screwed up. I don't know if you can see it. And as someone that always reads the owner's manual, that bugs the hell out of me. Should have been World War II. But this is basic owner's manual. All the pictures are of the AMD gun, in case you get confused. Nothing special in there. If I knew someone that's looking at buying an AK, not really wanting to spend a ton of money on it, get an Arsenal or a Vepr, and they're looking at IO or Sentry, I'm going to recommend this. It's a true ComBlock made gun. You know, obviously some of the parts are American makes. You got to meet the 922R compliance, blah, 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 blah. But important parts like the bolt carrier, it's cast. or excuse me, it's forged. It's not cast. And that's one thing I'm really reluctant about on those guns. And I know people are going to comment on here and be like, I've got a Sentry, I fired it forever, the thing's awesome, and the same thing with IO. But me, for the price, it's a little bit cheaper. You know, I would go this route. I don't know if I pointed it out real quick before I forget. This does not have a scope mount on the side. Sorry, I just realized that. I want to make sure everybody was aware. It's a great gun. It looks cool. I get a lot of looks at the range. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of a shooting range hipster. It's embarrassing to say. But I like it when I, take out my Vepper or my Schmidt Rubens and people are trying to figure out how the bolt action works on those and, ask me questions. I just like informing people. I don't like showing up to the range with, the everyday stuff. And like I said, the fun factor on this, super, super high. Great groupings. Trigger is super light. Very low recoil already on a gun that, in my opinion, doesn't kick very much. The stock here. Oh, can I do this one-handed? It's got a little rubber nipple on the butt plate. That's one thing I thought about after ordering this when I was concerned. Is that constantly hitting up against the receiver? But got a little rubber butt pad. And a little nipple from that sticks out and it hits the receiver. So you don't have to worry about that marring up anything. Alright, well, this has been BrowncoatNerd bringing you the CII, or C11, I apologize, AMD 65 build. If you're thinking about getting any cheap AK, I would highly recommend looking into this. If you're torn between the fixed stock and a folding stock, and you're thinking about getting a folding stock, think through it thoroughly. Your options, once you buy this, to change this out are pretty much nil. If you buy a fixed stock and you want to go to a folding stock, you can still do that. Get it like a Magpul or something. One of the Magpul folding stocks on there. Once you get this, you're just kind of stuck with it. So make sure you're okay with having no cheek weld. And not being able to change this out ever. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and be safe, and have happy shooting. I screwed that last bit up, but I do not care. I'm not going back to fix it, because I try to get these in one shot. I don't have a whole bunch of time on my hands. So, yeah. Bye.